Welcome back to Wargamer Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. This is the Cygnar Battlebox discussion and unboxing video. So first we're going to talk about the stuff that comes in it, and then we're going to jump forward to an unboxing of the new Battlebox in case you haven't seen that already. So the Battlebox for Cygnar comes with the kind of the standardized stuff that they're all coming with, which is playmat, tokens, dice, stuff, some books, and of course your 4 important models. So it's going to come with a Ironclad, a Lancer, a Firefly, and I don't remember her name.
Beth Maddox.
Thank you.
Major Beth Maddox.
Major Beth Maddox. She's a new Cygnar Warcaster, which everybody's going to be super excited about.
Yeah, she kicks ass and takes names and doesn't afraid of anything.
Yeah, so if you've seen any of our previous discussion videos, it's going to operate in a similar fashion where we're going to talk about sort of the stats and game applications as we understand it anyway. So let's talk about the Firefly.
Firefly! So the Firefly is like it's a light range jack. It's like electric ranged attack with its Electro Blaster.
Is that what it's called, an Electro Blaster?
Oh, it's called a Storm Blaster, I'm sorry.
Jeez, amateur.
So anyway, it's like it's range 10, POW 10, and does a lightning Electro Leaps, so D3 models. Okay, so it does Electro Leap to D3, because I thought there was some new stuff that just Electro Leap to like one thing. That might have been the... They're just different rules, like...
Okay.
Yeah, this one's called Lightning Generator. I think Electro Leap is the specific rule that only goes to one model.
Oh, okay.
Also, it buffs lightning damage rolls when the target models are within 5 inches of the Firefly.
Okay, so... Oh, interesting. So if the Firefly is just kind of standing nearby, you can target whatever it's standing near with Electro.
Yeah, within 5 inches.
Okay.
It affects its own electric damage rolls too.
Really?
So I mean,
well, is it if you're within 5 inches of the Firefly, or the Firefly's within 5 inches of the enemy?
5 inches of the target.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in order for the Electro Leap the Firefly to get the benefit, he'd have to be standing within 5 inches.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not so bad, but that's actually really cool from a usefulness perspective, because he's probably not that many points. How many points is he coming in at?
8 points.
8 points.
It's not terrible. It's not going to be the greatest in Battlebox level games. It's only a POW 10.
Yeah, and you're not going to be... I mean, the thing is, he's going to really shine against infantry.
Yeah.
Which you're not going to fight against in Battlebox level
sure.
games. But then once you break out of that, that's probably okay. And, I mean, when you eventually get to the point where you're going to caster swap, taking, like, him with Nemos or something like that, like anybody
sure.
who relies on a lot of lightning damage, is going to be really sweet. So he's probably pretty low amount of boxes, I presume.
Yeah, I mean, he's light. He's got something like 26 boxes or something like that.
Like armor
16, yeah.
That makes sense. So yeah, I mean, he seems pretty straightforward, pretty like high value for the 8 points you're spending.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a little utility guy. Shoots dudes.
Yeah.
Deals with infantry pretty well.
One thing I do like, though, is that even if, like, let's say your opponent doesn't have a lot of infantry, he still has a use, right?
Yeah, sure. And I mean, like, he's still got, like, a reach weapon, which is range 2 now, POW 13.
That's right.
So it's not bad on, like, charging a guy for randos.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Not his primary purpose by any means, but...
Well, and with the power-up rules, you don't have to fuel him anymore, which is nice.
Right.
All right, so then we've got the Lancer, which I don't believe has changed a whole lot. He's still got his arc note. He's still got his reach spear thingy and his shield.
Yep.
So that puts him up to what, armor 18?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I don't think he changed at all. I
kind of doubt it. I'm not super familiar with the old Lancer. He's still got set defense on defense 13, so he's actually pretty hard to hit with a charge attack. His shield still does Cortex damage and has a shock field.
Oh, okay.
So it does, when you hit with the shield, it deals 1 damage to a Cortex if it's undamaged, if it's not already crippled. And if you hit him, the attacker suffers Cortex damage.
Okay.
So,
and he's coming in at like, what, 10 points?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's a bit of a points reduction. He used to be 6, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Although, because we're playing up to 75 in like the full-sized game, whatever the hell mode that's called, double is not really correct. It should be like 1.5.
The thing is, because of the increase in Warjack points on every caster, it is still basically double.
Okay, yeah, because that puts you up to like 105-ish.
Yeah, depending on your caster.
Okay, that makes sense. And then, of course, the Ironclad. Now, I'm actually really excited about the Ironclad because in Mark II, anyway, he was like the first Jack I got when I picked up the original Cygnar box. And he was cool looking. He hit things pretty hard, but he's pretty slow. He still is kind of slow. And his tremor attack was on crit. It was never...
No, he had a tremor. It was just a special attack that knocked everything down within whatever inches of him.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's been a while since he used it.
The change to his tremor attack, besides him getting a 1-inch melee range,
it's huge.
Because all heavy jacks now have a 1-inch melee range at least.
Yeah.
Is that the tremor special attack is no longer stops him from doing damage to its primary target.
Okay.
So before resolving damage from this attack, center a 4-inch AoE on the model directly hit. Models in the AoE become knocked down. This model's not affected by tremor.
It's also a 4-inch AoE, which is huge.
Yeah, sure. It used to be knock down all models within 2 inches of the ironclad or something like that. And now it's like an AoE centered on the target.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess you might actually get less cubic inches or
sure, but like it's usually going to be more where it matters.
Yeah,
and on top of that, actually being able to get damage out of it is amazing.
Yeah,
compared to before when you would have to choose between making a tremor attack and losing your charge attack, or now you can make the tremor attack as your charge attack because it is a special attack with a melee weapon.
Yeah, and he's like what, POW 18?
Yep.
So I mean, you never really wanted to, unless you really needed the knockdown, you don't really want to give up a POW 18 charge attack.
Yeah, like unless your target was like defense 18.
Well, yeah,
then you could just auto hit and knock it down. And like in this case, now you don't even hit a defense 18 model with boosts on average. But that's beside the point.
Now, is that on hit?
It's a special attack.
Okay,
so he only gets that on the one attack if he makes a special attack.
No, but what I mean is like he throws down the AoE of Doom. Is it anything underneath the AoE just falls down? Or
no, so
you have to hit.
You have to directly hit. Okay. Yes.
I mean, so I guess it's a little less universally useful, I guess.
It's different, but generally speaking, you're going to get more use out of it than before, I think, anyway.
Okay. I guess the one question, I mean, the one big difference, though, is before you could just, I mean, instead of using the AoE, if you're targeting like a high defense thing, or a lower defense thing, I guess, you could just headbutt it and it would, be knocked down.
You'd still have to roll to hit.
Yeah, but with this, you still have to roll to hit now.
Yeah, but you can't headbutt on a charge.
Oh, okay.
So you get the benefits of knocking someone down after you charge.
Okay, so that's a huge difference then. And he's like, what, 12 points?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just going by guesstimation
12
here.
points is pretty dirt cheap. And his other hand is an open fist at PS14. So he gets a second initial, gets to make all of the full suite of power attacks.
That's awesome. Because I think that like one hand throws and stuff like that aren't quite as bad as they were before.
They were never bad. They just, like, two-handed throws are still better. But okay, let me clarify. There is no such thing as a double-handed throw anymore. It's just making a throw power attack with two open fists is better.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he's pretty vanilla. He's what, movement 5?
Speed 5, Mat 7, armor 18.
Mat 7's pretty good. I mean,
yeah, it's elite Mat for.
Well, you're going to hit our defense 18 on, well, you're like average 17.5, and that rounds to 18.
With boosted dice.
Yeah.
And that doesn't actually round to 18. It just
should.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got a pretty good chance, though. I mean, Mat 7
it's
is
not,
nice.
It's not the worst chance in the world.
Yeah. All right, so we've got Major Beth Maddox. Now, she is the new Cygnar Warcaster, obviously. So one of the cool things I think about her is, thematically anyway, she's a Stormlight Knight Warcaster.
Yeah.
Which I like the Storm Knights, like the Stormblades and this.
Yeah, she's super cool.
Storm
Guard.
Thank you. So she's 6 focus Warcaster, comes in at 30 Warjack points, which is, I think, pretty high for.
It's about average. I mean, like, it's give or take, depending on the theme of your caster.
She's got her range attack that is a Storm Strike, which is an electrical attack that causes crit something.
That's not crit anything. Actually, that might be crit disruption.
Cortex damage. Haha.
It's disruption. The Tempest is her melee weapon.
Well, damn. All right.
It's crit disruption.
Crit disruption. Is that really the thing for disruption?
Yes.
Huh. All right.
It confused me because it's not like that is the one for crit disruption, and I'm not used to seeing the one for crit disruption instead of just regular disruption.
Although you can shake disruption, so
no, you can't.
No,
you need focus to shake disruption. You can't get you need focus to shake, and you can't get focus when you're disrupted.
Really? Not even the power up?
Really? Yes. No. You can't gain focus for any reason.
Oh wow, disruption's way better now.
Well, disruption was always a good thing. It's just every faction had access to power booster.
Ah, okay.
And now almost every faction has access to power booster except Khador. Shade Throne.
All right then. Her melee attack has a 2-inch range. Not reach. See, I said it right this time.
I mean, it's a reach weapon. It's just called 2-inch range now.
Yeah. It's POW 13. And she's got quick work, so that's interesting. So if she destroys one or more enemy models in close combat during its combat action, it can immediately make one basic ranged attack. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, you can thwack a guy and shoot a guy. And it's not limited to one per...
It's not limited to once per activation, but unless they change the rules for like shooting in melee, you can't do it if you're still in melee.
Okay.
I actually don't know if they've changed that rule or not.
Yeah, so. I'm not sure. Because I was thinking like you run up, thwack a guy, shoot a guy, thwack a guy, shoot a guy, thwack a guy, shoot a guy.
I mean, you eventually run out of focus, but yeah.
Thwack, shoot a guy. Yeah. So yeah, Tempest, critical cortex damage. On a crit hit, you cause awesome things to happen to enemy
warjacks. 1
warjacks.
damage to a cortex box. Woo! I mean, it's okay, but you're never really going to care about that.
Now, is that in addition to the damage you normally do? Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe. It could matter.
Yeah. I mean, you actually do the cortex damage before you do the regular damage roll, because it happens on the critical hit, not on damage.
Okay, I see. And then she's got a spell list. So
yes, it's a good spell list.
So she's got Assail. Target friendly faction warjack gets free charge or slam, trample power attacks without spending focus, gets +2 movement. If it charges or makes a slam or trample power attack, model slam by the warjack move +2 inches. So that's pretty sweet. I mean,
free charge, extra 2 inches, upkeep spell. It's really good.
In the like relating to the buck specifically, I think that running that on your Ironclad is going to be really sick.
Yeah, probably.
It mitigates his slowness, and then also, anyway, so Assail, pretty good. I think definitely more like I think definitely the Ironclad is the one that you want to try and get it on if you can. But I mean, using it on the Lancer might not be bad either.
I mean, it's just a good spell. Yeah. Like.
I'm just thinking like the Ironclad, the one you want locked in melee, so getting that charge or slam or whatever.
Sure.
Dauntless Resolve. So target friendly faction warrior model / unit gets +3 armor and tough. Wow. +3 arm and tough.
Yeah, it's a good spell.
That seems particularly good on like Stormblades or Storm guys.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you like throw it on them and have the tactician so they can't fall down.
Getting +3 armor and tough on the Storm Guard would be disgusting. So I think that there's an easy sort of transition into expansion with this with this box because of that.
But for the Battlebox game, she can put it on herself.
Yeah, I mean, so bringing her up to armor 19 is respectable.
Yeah, especially with focus over and reinforcing the power field.
Thank you.
On top of that, and tough. You know, you never know if like one rando tough roll wins you the game.
That's true. Although if they have more things to attack with and then you're knocked down too.
I mean, then you don't get the tough roll anymore and you're still pretty fucked because you're only on one box and you're knocked the fuck down.
That's true. So I think Dauntless Resolve's a really good spell.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We've got Electrical Blast, so
she's almost never going to cast this, but sometimes she will.
I mean, the thing is, it's POW 13, 15 with if the Firefly's nearby. I don't see why she wouldn't necessarily cast it.
Because it costs 3 focus.
I mean,
it's half her pool.
That's true. It's expensive.
She has 4 upkeeps.
She has 4 upkeeps?
She has 4 upkeeps.
Jeez. No, she doesn't. Yes, she does.
Yes, she does.
Sales and upkeep. I didn't realize that. All right. I mean, but still, the thing is, like, if you wanted to get that clutch to 2 POW 13 or 2 POW 15s off on the Warcast, enemy Warcasters, not so bad.
It makes more sense to use it to disrupt enemy Warjacks.
Also true.
Like,
fair.
Super easy to hit them, and then you just boost damage, so you're likely to do at least 1 point. It's like, lol. Hi, Kador, you don't get to jack.
That's true, because you do need to damage in order to get disruption. Otherwise, it's kind of a relatively expensive AoE 3, 8-inch range AoE 3.
You have an arc node.
You do have an arc node.
You have an arc node.
So, I mean, in that case, yeah. Onslaught, the spellcaster-friendly faction models beginning their activation in its control area or control range gain relentless charge for 1 turn. So when it advances part of a charge, you gain Pathfinder.
Relentless charge.
Which is also good. I mean, depending on what the battle
looks like. It's pretty solid, especially since, like, if you have Onslaught up and you throw Sail on the Ironclad, assuming it can see something to charge, it gets to charge as fast as it could have run anyway.
Yeah.
And through terrain with no penalty.
I think the cool thing about Onslaught, though, is that you're casting it on yourself. So you can it's a way of doubling up on upkeep spells on things.
Sure, it just means that you can't have Dauntless Resolve up on Maddox at the same time.
That's true. And then, of course, we have Snipe. So friendly faction model / unit ranged weapon gains +4 range. Again, I think that she's definitely incentivized for having infantry in her army.
I mean, yeah, sure. But Snipe is just never really a bad spell. Like,
that's true.
If you have any ranged attacks at all.
Friendly faction models. So she could cast that. She could cast snipe on, I guess, on the Firefly.
Yeah, or herself.
Or herself.
Or one and then the other in the same turn with cycling upkeeps if you want to shoot twice at 14 inches.
Fair enough.
And I don't know if you actually do that, but...
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, corner case scenario, maybe.
Yeah.
Then we've got her feat, Thundering Rage.
It's really good.
While in Maddox control range, friendly faction models melee weapons gain +3 POW and beatback. Thundering Rage lasts for 1 turn. And immediately, and just to clarify what beatback does, immediately after a basic attack with a weapon with beatback is resolved during this model's combat action, the enemy model hit can be pushed 1 inch directly away from the attacking model. Afterwards, you can advance 1 inch directly towards it.
Ka-thunk.
Yeah. So you're like, thwack, walk up. Thwack, walk up. Thwack, walk up. Thwack, 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 thwack.
All right, then.
Yeah. I mean, that brings the Ironclad up to POW 21.
Yeah.
On feet turn, plus a little bit more of an absurd threat range. So that's nice. With
well, sort of. Beatback isn't what it used to be for threat range, just because you have to advance directly toward.
Well, I know, but with a sail, I mean, like,
yeah, sure, but that doesn't the feat doesn't really help anything with it.
No, it's just that she gets both of them in her kit, right? So I don't know. What do you think about Major Beth Maddox and specifically relating to the Battlebox?
She's pretty rad. She'd be better in the Battlebox if there wasn't like a Firefly. Like the thing is, like, the Firefly is like, okay, whatever, throw a snipe on it, but like it's not going to do a lot in like a Battlebox level game. If her box was more like 2 heavies that do stuff in melee, like throw a Lancer away for a Stormclad, or throw both of them away for a Stormclad.
No, I think even if you're just to swap the Battlebox didn't come with the Ironclad, but came with like a Defender.
Probably cost more money points.
Well,
it does cost more points, actually. I don't know. I think the Ironclad is better than the Defender.
I mean, I think she can work with pretty much anything, though. Like, you stick her inside of pretty much any collection, and you've got a reasonable force.
Yeah.
So I really like that from a Battlebox perspective. Because I mean, although there are some things that I think, you'd be well served to pick up. If you're like, hey, I really like these guys, she can work with them. If that's trenchers, if that's long gunners, if that's whatever that is, like whatever you happen to like, she can work with. It's she's not exclusive to just Stormblades or Storm Knights.
And plus, she's another badass like female Cygnar Warcaster.
That's true.
When they only had like 1.5, I consider Haley half because she's not really a badass. She's just a Mary Sue.
Okay.
So, like, they had Sloane.
Yeah, Sloane's pretty cool.
Yeah, but now they have, like, badass, I'm going to cut you up in melee chick.
Well, I mean,
melee... the gender balance of the faction.
Or I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you dead.
I mean, sure, but, like, she's better at melee than Sloane, and Sloane is better at shoots you.
Yeah, fair. Now, in the Battlebox games, I think one thing that you probably want to do with her is you throw up snipe on the Firefly, and then the Firefly can cause disruption.
Firefly doesn't cause disruption.
I thought he did cause disruption.
No. It's Maddox's ranged attack that causes crit disruption.
Okay, that's less good.
But like you can just arc the electric spell through the Lancer if you feel like it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think that's a good way to do it too, because I mean, especially if you're War Machine on War Machine, you're going to be facing against War Machines.
Yeah, and like your Lancer's going to be able to run because it's got power up, and you can just upkeep Assail and Dauntless Resolve, and then throw out an electrical blast, boost the damage.
Well, exactly, and then it gives you the opportunity to kind of control the fight, decide when you want to engage. Less good against hordes because they're like, electricity.
Well, yeah, but then you just don't care. Like, then you're like, whatever. Let's just not do that instead and keep more focus.
That's pretty much it for our discussion on the Cygnar Battlebox, or the new Mark III Cygnar Battlebox. We're going to now bring it over to a unboxing of this Battlebox. We take a look at some of the stuff that comes in it, and that should be awesome. Dun-dun-dun. You can do the music.
I don't have music in me. I'm a zombie.
Ooh. That's how you know. That's how you know it's legit. The plastic's still on it.
Ooh.
So the box.
It is a very nice box. There are many like it, but this one is this one.
So one of the things, like, I actually like that you open the box this way because you can actually use the box again, whereas the other ones.
That's kind of cool. That's a neat little feature.
So bam, we get the digest size rulebook as per all of them. Well, actually, there we go. Digest size rulebook, pretty sweet. Actually full color, which is nice. Let me take a look. What do you think? Well, the other one's full color, but I don't know. This one feels like not super glossy in the pages.
Neat.
All right. We get our 18-inch measuring tape, which is like basically a laminated paper. It's not a plastic or anything like that, so that'll get destroyed.
Like, who cares?
Or
something you can use for your first game or two.
Yeah, that's true. It helps. I mean, in the event that you don't have like even a dollar store tape measure kicking around.
And I mean, it's disposable, so you can use it really easily for dick measuring contests.
It's true, but this one only goes up to 18. I don't know if I'll be able to participate.
Man, you must not ever please anyone.
I please myself. So we've got the Cygnar introductory guide, which I was kind of curious as to what comes in here. So let's take a look. No man left behind. That's kind of sexist, but whatever.
I think they're using man in the admittedly still sexist, but generic form of human.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the first 6 pages are a story, which is pretty cool. If you're into the fluff, it gets people initiated into the fluff at least a little bit.
I'm guessing it's probably the same story that was released in the newsletter about Maddox, which is fine, but...
Yes, it looks very... I mean, I don't know if it's exactly the same, but it probably is. Then you get the battle group tactics. So similar to the all-in-one boxes, they had like this kind of deal.
So this is why the rest of this video is obsolete, because you could just read the fucking insert.
Yeah, well, exactly. Expansion options, growing your force, and then it looks like actually. So then they got a little bit of propaganda. I really like this picture actually, but that's besides the point.
I can't see the picture.
We've got prepping your model, hobby and painting guide. Tools, painting actually this is really cool. This comes with a guide on how to get the Cygnar colors. So I will show you.
That's cool. I've seen.
Oh, okay, but I think it's actually particularly awesome that this stuff comes inside of this box. Like, here's how you do the steel, here's how you do the bronze, here's how you do the blue.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like that means that this guide is actually useful, rather than just being like, buy our shit, here, buy more of our shit.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sweet. We've got...
This is actually... I can already see this is better quality than I expected this to be.
Yeah, this is like a laminate, kind of like the measuring tape, actually. It's like a thick paper laminated thing.
It's not like a battle mat for the ages.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's actually a reasonable quality.
And it's like a good size, too. Like, for a starting game, this is... actually, why don't we get some measurements on this? Let's see. We'll use the other one.
This is a giant clusterfuck. I think it's 24 by 24.
It is 24 by 24. So I would have liked it to be 30 by 30 just because then it meets the new game mode.
But you don't need to have like a real size mat for learning how to play the games.
And it is double-sided, which is, again, interesting because
it's double-sided, but one side has big obnoxious letters on it.
That's true, but
which is useful for when this is the basic training, I'm sure. But
well, we'll take a look at that in a second. But the really cool thing though is the fact that it's double-sided means you get one side that doesn't have the derpy letters, and it's surprising because they lowered the price of these boxes. This item to include in a box set like that can be expensive to print. So
hey, also, if you and 3 friends all buy all-in-one battle group boxes, you can put all of your mats together and have a 4x4 table.
I guess you could.
Yeah. It might be a little homogenized. But technically it's a 4x4
maybe
table.
We'll do that. Maybe we'll do that just to see how it works out.
Jesus. Well, if you're planning on doing that, please put them all flat on a table with like shitloads of books on top of them to flatten them.
Even if ideally you need like a flat plastic clear sheet, but Anyway. So we've got the basic training booklet, which is actually like a double-sized booklet to the other one, which is a little weird. I don't know why they wouldn't have just done the other ones.
I'm guessing this is going to be basically like LTP noob.
Well, it's okay, probably. Yeah. So yeah, it tells you the basic stats, mission 1. Oh yeah, okay. So here it gives you the missions that correspond to the back side of the map, the one with the letters.
Yeah, this is how you rules the game.
Yeah. And to introduce you to like the basic concepts of the game. Concealment and cover. Actually, that's a pretty charging, spending, focus, and boosting.
One thing I think is kind of neat about this, even ignoring all of the learn to play stuff, is that the front page is templates, and this booklet by nature is very disposable. Yeah,
so you could just cut them out if you wanted.
Cut them out, laminate them even.
Also, check this out. So the last page is a training warcaster and training warjack, so that you can actually, rather than using the stats of yours, just to learn the game.
Yeah, just this is how you do things.
Yeah, that's actually interesting. So it provides you a way to learn the game that's not super overwhelming. Because
also, it's the same for every fucking faction that way.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I imagine the Hordes one will be a little different, but...
Well, we training Warlock.
But...
training War Beast.
I really like that. One of the big criticisms that I've heard people give on Mark II is that it's really hard to get into, really hard to learn. Especially if you don't come from a prior wargaming background.
Yeah, I mean, comparatively speaking to some other games, there are some mechanics that are a little harder to learn.
Well, exactly. So that's... I'm actually really impressed.
This is a nice first step, because remember when, in a video that we shot but was never released, when I was teaching Melissa how to play War Machine...
Oh yeah, it was total garbage.
Well, no, sure, the video was total garbage, but we did this we did a similar thing where I wasn't showing her a full game. We were just I just put some models down on the table, and did that, but without that.
Well, exactly. This also gets me thinking. Maybe we do a video series going through these specifically. Why not? If it can help somebody learn the game.
I mean, sure, we could do that. Ideally, someone goes through them on their own, but
that's true. So let's take a look at the goodies inside the box. So we've got the tokens, which will...
Le token.
Show up.
Le dice.
Some dice.
Le 46. I don't know why I'm suddenly French. Le blue plastic.
So here is the blue plastic charger.
No. Try again.
Lancer. There we go.
Try again.
No, this is a Lancer.
Is that the Lancer?
This is a Lancer.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
try again.
I couldn't actually see it because it was I thought it might have been the Firefly.
No, this is a Lancer.
Okay.
So we got the Lancer. We've got the Ironclad. Or no, this is the Firefly.
Firefly!
And they are, in fact, colored plastics. If you've seen any unboxings or anything like that, that's probably common knowledge at this point.
These ones are. Maybe they ran out of colored plastic for the rest of them.
Ah, fair enough. And then we've got the Ironclad. Maddox. Where the hell's Maddox?
Probably hiding in one of the other little blister things. Or we got a mispack, which would be hilarious.
Here are the cards. Oh, actually, the obstacle card is actually on the back of one of these cards. Let's take a look at that.
Oh, I want to see it.
Interesting.
I will make it.
Actually, you may want to score it to make when you make it.
I'm gonna do that.
There we go. This is your obstacle card, so it shows you how to make it on the back. I don't know if we can see that all that well. There we go. And I wonder if this is exactly 4 inches. Let's take a look. Bam. Nope. 3.5. So this isn't
card size. It kind of looks like we got the shaft.
Well, okay. Or she's actually.
Is there a second base in there?
No.
Well, we got this box, and all we have to show.
Hold on.
I checked. It's not in there.
Let's take this out. All right. So we've just taken out the little cardboard insert, which actually just takes up a whole bunch of space for no reason. Why don't we crack it open?
This is the Firefly. I only see one base. There's definitely no Maddox in there.
I don't mind.
Well, show the Lancer on the thing then. This is the blue plastic Lancer in all of its blue plastic glory.
From all of the pieces, all of the components are actually the same.
Yeah, it looks like they still have a pretty high level of detail and whatnot.
Yeah, from what I understand, they're actually the same molds. It's just they colored the plastics. And the reason why that they gave for doing that was to just so that you could tell which ones were yours.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's a nice little touch. I suspect the plastic is still the same type of plastic.
It is.
Which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world.
Little leg, little shield, and then the connecting bits. So we'll put this aside here. Want to pop open the Ironclad? Maybe. I'm hoping.
Ironclad?
Yeah.
All right. She's not going to be in any of these. It's pretty easy to tell. There's no lady-looking parts, just robot-looking parts.
Just robot-looking parts. That is incredibly disappointing for the unboxing, but...
especially the first one we're doing.
Yeah.
Oops, I dated this video. Or not dated, but relative time-stamped this video.
The hammer. So yeah, it is the exact same parts. So if you end up with... one of the benefits of this, actually, them being the same parts as the what comes in the actual boxes, is let's say you have already have an Ironclad. Well, if you have the bits from the other parts, you can make one of the other
yeah,
variants.
You can make like a Cyclone or a Defender.
So that's kind of nice.
That, which is pretty cool, I suppose. Unfortunately, you cannot make a Bethmatics.
You cannot make a Bethmatics
without the Bethmatics inside this kit.
So that's
someone needs to get fired.
Wow. I mean,
I kid, but
I mean, I understand like production problems and stuff like that, but like on the first one, that's a little disheartening.
I mean, it's actually better that this happened to us than to someone else.
That's true.
Because that would be like the fucking worst. You're like, you walk into the game store. This is a Firefly, by the way. You walk into the game store, you're all happy and excited. You're like, oh, we just watched this video on Wargamer Shut Up and Jam about the Cygnar box, and now I have a giant boner for Bethmatics. I'm going to buy this. And then she's just not in the box.
Yeah, well, I mean, and especially considering you can't get them another way right now.
Yeah.
I have to imagine, though, like, if this happens, and I'm going to talk to the our source.
In our case, we probably just get a replacement right off the bat.
Probably.
And B, like,
hopefully
Privateer is not going to be a dick about this.
No, Privateer, I'm sure Privateer would replace things. The big problem, though, is, like, because there's limited distribution right now, like, they're working on getting more stuff out, they may not have something else. But.
I mean, I feel like Privateer would, at bare minimum, even if they couldn't replace Maddox, they'd send you another Warcaster. Like, because it's inexcusable.
Well, I'm sure Privateer Press could give you another Maddox. I'm just thinking, like, if you were to take it back to your game store.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like,
I don't know that that's possible.
If you go to Privateer Press, they will replace.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Privateer's great about that kind of thing.
It would be a giant shit stain on their reputation if not only did they fuck up and. Just include a Warcaster.
And I mean, like, they've had a really good track record of that kind of thing. That's not a concern. So here are the focus tokens. They are Privateer tokens, so they're all going to be the same between all the boxes for sure. And you get 3 spell tokens and I think 10 focus tokens or fury tokens.
Seems like 10.
3, 6, 9, 10. Yeah.
See, the nice thing about these is if you certain factions, even if you already have your faction token set or whatever. These could be used as alternate, like, blood tokens or corpse tokens or whatever if you wanted. Just because they're different iconography.
I like that they didn't cheap out and, like, give you cardboard tokens. That they, like, just gave you the plastic ones. Yeah. I'm surprised that they did, but it's nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's cool. The cards, important to play the game, especially when we're going to be proxying Bethmatics initially.
Yes, this is the imaginary Bethmatics model.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably just used, like, one of the, like, Alice and Jake's, for example. For now.
Sure, whatever.
For us.
If we have it, but,
And 4 dice. Plain black dice with white pips. They're nothing too special, but still.
Is the 6 is just a 6 and the 1 is just a 1.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, it would have been nice to have, like, a Privateer 6, but, like, I think that's fine.
I actually, honestly, I prefer them not to be Privateer because it means they're less specific. Like, if you feel like just having these D6 for some other game.
Yeah, that's true. So that is it for the Cygnar unboxing, apparently.
I mean, we might append a Bethmatics to this video at some point.
Yeah.
Just to show you if... Well,
she's supposed to look... Hold on. I got this. She's supposed to look like that.
That's, it's not great. You can go to the internet and Google Bethmatics. And that'll be what she looks like.
There we go. That's what she's supposed to look like.
Sure, okay.
It is better that it happened here to us. And these kind of things do happen amongst any company, so it's not the end of the world. But so that is the Cygnar Battlebox unboxing.
Mark III Battegroup.
And our discussion. So hopefully you stay tuned for the whole thing. Please like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.
Come check out the Connection Games and Comics. We have the largest selection of War Machine and Hordes miniatures in the Lower Mainland. War Machine Wednesdays and Sundays, with tables and terrain to play your game.